Hey fellas, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. We are in Acts chapter 15. I'm going to be reading verses 1 through 5. It reads, "But some men came down from Judea and were teaching the brothers, unless you are circumcised according to the custom of Moses, you cannot be saved. And after Paul and Barnabas had no small discussion and debate with them, Paul and Barnabas and some of the others who were appointed to go up to Jerusalem to the apostles and the elders about this question. So being sent on their way by the church, they passed through both Phoenicia and Samaria, describing in detail the conversion of the Gentiles, and brought great joy to all the brothers. When they came to Jerusalem, they were welcomed by the church and the apostles and the elders, and they declared all that God had done with them. But some believers who belonged to the party of the Pharisees rose up and said, 'It is necessary to circumcise them in order for them to keep the whole law of Moses.'" So as long as churches have existed, so has debate and dissensions within them, right? I wish this weren't the case, but I cannot see any way around not having challenges and debate within the church. There's always some issue. But in this situation, the debate was not over carpet colors or worship style or the pastor's salary. It was over whether or not males should be circumcised to actually be a Christian. So here's the setting. Luke just ended chapter 14 with Paul and Barnabas returning back to their home church in Antioch. But chapter 15 begins in Jerusalem. And the setting is the first ever gathering of leaders from across the region. What is gathered is the first ever council. So think of this council like a big church leaders conference, right? And the first main session is entitled "The Cutoff Date" for new members, right? Well, in this text, we see that some leaders are strong proponents of circumcision. This was stirred by some of the more conservative leaders trying to reconcile how to, accept this new large Gentile contingency into their group. Remember, all devout Jews were required to be circumcised on the 8th day of life. And even those non-believers who became converts according to the Old Testament law were required to be circumcised regardless of their age. Even Abraham, who was a pagan and identified by Jews as the first Jew, was circumcised, actually at the ripe old age of 99, which I'm sure left him with a much more vivid memory of this event than it did for those who were circumcised as infants. Yeah, no kidding, right? And because the Old Testament required it legally, some struggled to see how the cutting out of a long-standing ritual initiated by God could be canceled, right? I mean, how are we supposed to do this? Now, while this debate is not going to be resolved in verses 1 through 5 in the text we read today, we can learn something valuable here. And that is this, is that debate can be right and done righteously when we are not self-righteous. You see, God is the truth. He speaks the truth, and He reveals the truth. We are not the truth. We are merely humble followers of God's truth. And when we approach every debate with this perspective, there is always only one winner. And that person is always God. So, the next time you get into a debate with another Christian, just remember, God's truth wins, not you. His truth every single time. I love you guys. Have a great day. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.